Fractions and percentages. When first of all I find the fraction of a quantity, to find the fraction of a quantity, we divide by the bottom and times by the top. So a quarter of 120 would be 120 divided by 4. 4 goes into 1, it doesn't go into 1. 4 goes into 12 3 times, 0 left over. 4 into the final 0, 30. So a quarter of 120 is 30. Or you could have halved there and halved again. Now I want to find 20% of 30. So 10% of 30, to divide 10%, we divide by 10, so it's 3. And then 20% of 30, 20% is double 10%, so 3 times 2 is 6. When I'm working the percentage of a quantity with a calculator, there are a few different ways of doing it. Okay, you can either put a 0 point in front of the decimal and call it 0.38, so you're turning the percentage into a decimal, and then multiply by the number. So 0.38 multiply by 15.6 equals 5.928. So if I'm going to give it to 2 decimal places, it's either 5.92 or 5.93. Because it's an 8, I'm going to round it up to 5.93. The other way of doing it, using a percentage button on your calculator, is to type in 38 times 15.6 and then press the percentage button on your calculator. So for this question, it'll be 38 times 15.6. And then the percentage button is behind the equal sign, so a shift equals, and the answer comes up the same, 5.928. To express 52 as a percentage of 80, okay, 52 as a percentage of 80, that means 52 out of 80. Because it's a calculator paper, that line means divide. So I'm going to be doing 52 divided by 80 equals 0.65, and that comes up as a decimal. So to change a decimal to a percentage, we multiply by 100. So 0.65 times 100 is 65%. Adding and subtracting fractions, you've got to make the number on the bottom, the denominator, the same. So what do 5 and 2 go into? The lowest number the 10 go into is 10. So what the first one is already 9 out of 10, but the second one is 3 out of 5. So if I want to change the denominator into 10, I have to double it. Because 5 2s are 10. So because I'm doubling the denominator, I double the top or the numerator. 3 2s are 6. So I'm actually doing 9 over 10 take away 6 over 10, which is 3 over 10. So what did I do there? 5 times 2 is 10. So 3 times 2 is 6, and that's why it became 6 out of 10. Next one. Show clearly whether the following statement is true or false. If you increase a positive number by 10% and then decrease it by the new value by 10%, you get your original number. Let's have a look at a number that's quite easy to work out, okay? Let's say of 100. If I'm doing 10% of 100, 10% of 100 divided by 10 is 10. So if I increase the 100 by £10, then your answer would be £110. Now it's telling me if I decrease that value by 10%, 10% of 110 would be 11. So if I then did 110 take away 11, that comes up as £99. So it's not the same. So the answer is, okay, 10% of my new number is bigger. The answer is no. All right, 10% of my new number is bigger than 10% of my original number, and I've shown why above.